Hi, parents out there. This is a challenging week for many of us as we're getting ready to bid our children adieu. I believe the state universities in Iowa start here August 25th, somewhere in that range. So, for many of you, you're either getting ready or you've already taken your kids off to school. If this is the first time you've done that, it could be a very emotional thing. I know I wrote about in my book the story of when I left my daughter and I kept stalling. And eventually, when I left, I tried to hold off the tears, but they hit me pretty hard when I got in the car back by myself, leaving her behind at the University of Iowa. Many of you are feeling that this week as you're saying goodbye. And so it can be an emotional roller coaster, no doubt. It can also be a financial one because you're also saying goodbye. You're saying goodbye to a fair amount of money that's leaving your wallet and going into the university that you're paying for. All of these different transitions can be a real challenge, and they're for real. It's not like you get to go to a grief class to say goodbye, to learn to say goodbye to your children. It's just something that we have to endure and get through. And so just wanted to offer up a couple tips to be thinking about as you go through this process that might be able to help. One that I really found was helpful for parents that I've worked with and for our family was to have a communication plan. It's very easy to overtext early on and be worried, looking for proof of life that they're okay and doing all right, they're making it to class, that they've made friends, all the things that we normally would have helped them do in elementary school that they're now doing off on their own. So having a communication plan that everyone agrees to that says, at first, will you please humor me, student, kid, whatever, and let me know that you're okay, and that's all I need to know for right now. And then maybe every Sunday we can set up a time to have a phone call or a FaceTime to connect, hear about the week, hear what's going on with their life. As they get into new classes, perhaps they're going to rush a sorority or fraternity, making new friends, they're stressed. All of that can lead to the feeling that they've further abandoned us and further don't care about the pain that we're enduring as their parents now that they've left the nest. But I assure you, that settles down. They get into a groove, as do you. And having a communication plan that's set up a little bit beforehand that everybody's clear on and agrees to can just bring you a lot of comfort to know you're going to have a chance to speak to them. Every now and then you can check in, of course, for proof of life that all is well and surviving, but maybe those Sundays or Saturdays you can spend some extra time and see their face and hear that they're doing okay. The other is the belief that once they're gone, they're never coming back. In most cases, they are, and it may be more than you wish it would be from time to time. One of the things that I found that was basically a certainty like death and taxes is if they're living in the dorms, those kids get sick their freshman year. The germs pass through that place like a daycare center, man. It's just from mono to the flu to whatever crud you can imagine. And nobody likes to be in a dorm room on their own when they're sick. They want their mom, they want their dad, they want help with their laundry, they want some comfort. And so while it's not a good thing that they're going to get sick, it is a reason that they're going to reach out and probably want to see you. Also, then just the coming home visits, like your communication plan, can potentially be set up beforehand so you have something to look forward to. I'm going to look forward to seeing them. The other thing is on the financial side is that you can feel like once you've committed to a university and you've begun paying tuition now, that the deal is set in stone. And I would tell you from experience that it's not, that financial aid appeals can go on throughout the entire time that your child's at school. You could even appeal for one after they've already started. You have a little bit less leverage because they're already going to school there and committed. But looking for extra scholarships, looking for extra ways they can save money through work study, on-campus work, assisting a professor, all these different things can come along that can defray some of the bills and the costs that go from all of the college expense that is just really, really large and keeps growing. And I know many parents right now, if you're just sending your first kid off or just beginning to understand that burden as you look through the first few bills. So my point is that if you haven't appealed financial aid or you haven't looked into trying to save money off of that U-bill, there are ways to do that, and it can happen even if they're already attending school, if you've already dispatched them. So don't feel like all is lost. You still have a chance to use some of those money-saving ways. So if the kids are gone and this is the first time you're an empty nester, you're going to experience what we like to call the first Friday. And that Friday is you're at home, your child is off to university. If that's the last child that's left the nest, your nest is empty. And you'll have this Friday and this moment of epiphany of, I don't have to stay up till 1 in the morning to wait till my kid comes home. They're going to go home whenever they want to go home because they're off to school doing that. And it can be a moment of certainly sadness that they're not home, but also one of liberation for you, that you can begin to take a look at your life now, your financial life, your emotional life, through the lens of a little bit of me back in it. Because for this point, you've done everything you can to raise these kids. You've done incredible work. Because you've done such good work, they're now off, about to live their life. And they can only do that because of how hard you've poured into them and gotten them ready for this. So now you can imagine life with a little bit of you back in it. And First Friday, in my opinion, is a great time to toast that and do something really fun to celebrate your accomplishment in getting these kids ready for their next step. Empty nesting can be a very emotional journey. It can be create a lot of financial challenges and transitions as well, but it can also be one of great joy. If you'd like to learn more about these ideas and how we coped with sending our 4 kids to school and paid for that, check out our book, Empty Nest Full Pockets, on our website. And we are available at www.pfwplanning.com. And thank you for attending today, parents. Hang in there. This is a tough stretch, but it does get better. And know that this is a partnership that you can have now with your adult children that can lead to greater joy and satisfaction and a great stage of life for you as well. Thank you.